Hi everybody, it's Friday afternoon and I've just gone through your VoiceThread assignment, and I know you're still working on that follow-up piece until you have until tonight, but I did want to get you some feedback because you of course also have your actual APA reference page due on Sunday. Remember, it's not the annotated bibliography. All your reference pages is those reference entries, so just that citation piece. So what I want to do here is I want to go through the sample that you worked with in VoiceThread, and I hope you enjoyed doing that. I enjoyed um, hearing you or seeing you kind of work through that and point out some of the errors, and I hope that's an effective way for you to sort of get the sense of what errors to be looking for, because the overall formatting things are the same whether it's APA or MLA, and of course the order of information and the formatting within the entry can be different, but if you learn one, you shouldn't have as much trouble learning a second citation format. So I'm just going to kind of go through uh, this page. I probably myself won't catch every error. I put in lots of errors so that you would have lots of opportunities to correct them, but I'll see what I can point out, and I'm going to hide my little face here so you can just see the page itself. So as many of you pointed out, you need a running header up here. The running header can be a little bit tricky to get on the page, especially because in APA the first page of your paper, which is your title page, is formatted a little differently. And I'm not going to totally obsess about the format up here if you have the title of your paper on each page. And then remember, APA has the page number, but it does not include your last name. So that's different from MLA. And I think some of you didn't get that piece in your assignment. Of course, most of you caught that you don't call it APA reference page, you just call it references with an S, and then it should be centered. A lot of people commented on this first entry. It's okay that it does not have a named author. That is not uncommon. And when there is no named author, then it is correct. Put the title, and there's another one further down, mental health treatments. Those are the title of the photograph or the article or the web page, and it does then go first. So don't assume that it's incorrect just because there's no named author. Most of you caught that the retrieval date is incorrect. APA doesn't do an actual date here. They just say retrieved from, and they put the web. APA includes the web address. Most of you caught that there's too much space between a couple of these entries. And then most of you also caught that like these lines of this second entry need to be indented. The others are indented correctly. Most groups also caught that this article is, or this photograph, this entry doesn't go first, S. It's actually going to be the last entry. Just like in MLA, your entries are in alphabetical order. There were a few other things that people commented on. Of course, there is no March 39th, and honestly, that may have just been a typo on my part. I don't remember. But the bigger issue here is that you don't actually need the date at all. The date here depends on whether it's just the year or whether it's a month, day, year, depends on the type of source. Something like an online magazine, you would put the month and the year if it's a monthly magazine, or if it's a weekly or bi-weekly, you would have the day and the month and the year. If it's just a page that's got a year, that's all that goes here. Some people had comments about that. This one, of course, this entry is missing its date altogether, and then of course APA doesn't use first names written out. It's gender neutral, and so there's a couple entries here that you would want to change. This title is actually correct. APA is a little quirky in my opinion in that they don't do capitals for all of the words in a title. And then you would want to remember to put publication titles in italics. I think one group commented on this, and it's super easy to miss, and if you don't catch it, I totally understand. This is actually correct. The volume is in italics, but the issue number is not. So actually down here in our last entry, that 50 should be in italics. You know, if you remember to do that and you catch that, you're doing great. And if you miss it, I certainly will live. It's just something to try to remember if you're really trying to do absolutely correct APA. Technically, this title needs some adjustment because these words, radical, new, therapy, etc., shouldn't be in capitals. The first letter is, and then this letter A also is because it's after that semicolon. Other things that would be in capitals in the title would be like proper nouns, but APA is a little quirky in my opinion. I'm not sure what the logic is behind that. And again, I use my handbook. I have my little Siegel handbook sitting right here on my desk in front of me. I don't expect you to memorize these things. I do expect you to know how to use your handbook or the Purdue OWL or the updated PDF that is posted to help you look at those samples and apply them to your own entries. So I hope this has been helpful. I think we've covered most of the errors here, so I'm looking forward to seeing really good, clean APA reference pages submitted on Sunday. Have a good weekend.